from New York. No, we are in Laguna Woods, and it's the Laguna Woods Show with your host and moderator, Esther Grossfield. Here's Esther.
Hi, welcome to Laguna Woods Show, where every guest matters. Today we have a very special guest. She's a doctor, a singer, and an actor. And her name is Dr. Sharone Rosen. Hi, Sharone.
Hi, Esther. What a pleasure to be here.
It's so nice having you here.
Thank you so much.
So you are a chiropractor, right?
Yes.
What is a chiropractor? What is it?
A chiropractor, well, one of the things that I like to tell people is chiropractic was not developed for neck and back pain. It happens to be great for neck and back pain, but it's not what it's for. What chiropractic is for is to help make sure that your nervous system is not impaired by bones pinching your nerves. So for instance, if you've got a segment of your thoracic spine, that would be maybe between your shoulders, that's out of place, you might have a chronic cough and there's nothing wrong with your lungs and there's nothing wrong with your throat, but because the nerves are impaired going to your lungs, you're going to be coughing.
Really?
And
wow.
the funny thing is, because of the way the body works, you might develop a cough from being sick, and then later on you're going to go, oh, my back hurts right between my shoulders, because the fact that you were coughing went back through the nerves to your spine and pulled the bone out of place.
Wow.
So everything affects everything else. All of your body runs through your nervous system. So chiropractic basically is neurology. So it's all about nerves. So everything in your body is run by your nerves. Almost all of your nerves, other than what goes straight up out of your brain and into your eyes and your ears and such, and your face. Everything else goes through your spine. So if your spine is aligned properly, your health is going to be better. That's just the bottom line of it.
So sometimes people cough and they don't know why they cough? Mm-hmm. Really?
It could be that. I have gone to the house of somebody whose child was in the midst of a terrible asthma attack.
Yeah.
And I adjusted the fourth thoracic vertebra and the asthma attack stopped.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I wouldn't think that.
People don't. People just think of chiropractic almost like it's a massage therapist.
Yes, yes.
But it isn't. We have hours in school that are almost identical to medical doctors. We take all of the same courses that medical doctors take. The big difference is we take more anatomy and they take more pharmacology, because we don't prescribe.
Wow, isn't that something?
Yeah.
So at one point, at what point people would think that they need to go to a chiropractor?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean,
yes.
When you're a hammer, everybody looks like a nail. So, so from this hammer's perspective, everybody should go for chiropractic all the time. But it's actually the truth. When I was doing my internship,
yes.
I had friends who came to the clinic to help me round out my hours.
Yes.
And they came in just to help me. They didn't have any problems. And I would adjust them, and they'd get up and say, I didn't know I didn't feel my best.
Oh, wow.
But I feel much better than I felt when I got here.
Really?
So it just helps your body function better. It would be like saying, do people really need to go to the dentist? I mean, I don't have a toothache, why would I go to the dentist?
For cleaning.
Yeah, for cleaning and to make sure that there's nothing developing.
Yes.
So you go to the chiropractor, however often your particular body needs it, to make sure nothing bad is developing it and stop it before it does.
Really?
So all humans should go to the chiropractor regularly. That is my personal assessment. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and if your medical doctor says, oh, it's nothing, you must have a very old medical doctor.
Wow.
Because younger doctors who are coming out of medical school understand that chiropractic is adjunct to medical science, just like any other specialty.
Wow. So, there's a lot of people that suffer from sciatica.
Myself included.
Really?
Yeah.
How does it happen?
Well, there are two ways. One way is that it comes from the lumbar spine, and the major nerve coming out that then goes down the sciatic nerve and into your rear end and into your legs is impaired because your back is out of alignment. But the more common way is actually that the sciatic nerve, which is about as big as your finger, it's huge, that nerve goes through a bone. It all does that, but it also goes through a muscle that's about the size of your hand and is underneath your cheeks.
Yeah,
those cheeks.
Yeah.
And so that nerve goes through that muscle under the cheeks, and when you drive or when you do other things that cause you to tense and clench,
Yeah.
that nerve gets pinched.
Uh-huh.
So most sciatica is that and not spinal. If it's spinal, you do need to consult a back specialist as well as your chiropractor and get x-rays and see exactly what's going on. But if it's not, I mean, and the exercise you can do to determine that, if it isn't the muscle, it's not going to hurt you. It's just going to determine whether or not it is.
Oh,
and
wow.
the exercise is very easy. Here, let my
I
friend
want to
show
ask you something
Yes,
before
okay.
you do that.
Okay.
Do people have sciatica in one side, the right side, or the left side, or can they have two?
Absolutely.
Really?
When I was a teenager, I used to get it on both sides because I was dancing and not stretching properly.
Oh.
So both sides would clench up.
Oh,
And
so it's stretching,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. And this is actually a yoga stretch that I learned years later from another chiropractor.
Yes, yes.
So-
but before
Okay.
you
My friend will show you.
demonstrated,
Yeah.
ask your doctor first, okay? Go to your doctor and ask them if you can do that. No?
Chiropractors are gatekeeper
Okay.
medical professionals. But
Okay.
and if you have a good chiropractor, just like if you have a good medical doctor, they will know whether or not you should do this.
Okay. Okay.
So, but it's an easy exercise.
So if somebody has a sciatica,
Sciatica. You said
okay.
that the leg that hurts.
Yes.
So say her little right leg has sciatic pain coming down.
Yes.
She would take her left foot and cross it in front of the right one, so that you're standing
Yes.
with your feet opposite. So your feet would be opposite like this. Then with your feet opposite, and if you need to hold on to something, please do, bend over as though you're going to touch your toes. And bend over as far as you can. And then if you don't touch your toes, it doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're stretching this muscle that's right here. So bend over as far as you can and hang there. Never bounce an exercise of any kind. Never bounce. Because all you're going to do there is tear muscle tissue and tendon tissue. So once you're bent over as far as you can, and if you need to be holding on to something, hold on to something. And
Okay, so let's say if that hurts, so they took the other side, the left side. If the right side hurts, you take the
left side, and put it in front.
Put it in front, and you go down a little bit.
Yes, and then you stand there and you bend over.
Yeah.
As far as you can comfortably. And then the yoga part of it, and this can be done with all exercises for anything to help you get a better stretch. You take a deep breath, and when you exhale, you'll find that you can stretch another inch. And just stretch another inch and hang there. And take another deep breath and let it go and hang another inch. Do that 3 or 4 times. And even if you only have pain on one side, you should do it on both sides.
Okay,
You should always, any time you stretch anything for any reason, you should, especially in the legs, because that's where your balance comes from. You should do it on both sides to make sure both sides have gotten the same exercise.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
And that really gonna help?
If that's what the source of the sciatic pain, and most sciatic pain is from that, it helps immediately.
Really?
Anytime I feel that little pinchy starting,
Yes. Yes.
I do that stretch and then I'm fine for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many times do they have to do a stretch like that? I mean, once, twice?
It depends on how used to your muscle is to being tight. But I would say if it's really causing you problems and you feel that stretch is helping you, then do it 2-3 times a day. If you feel the little pinchy stop what you're doing and do the stretch. Hold on to something if you need to. If you don't need to, it's even better. I have to hold on to something or I back up into a corner so that I'm between the corner walls and so that I won't fall down.
Wow, isn't it
Yeah.
amazing? Isn't it something?
But that can take care of it. It took care of it for me as a teenager and in my 20s. You know, sciatica can come at any time, and most of the time it is that little muscle.
Isn't it
no bigger than your hand.
And there's so many people suffering for years.
And for some reason, well, I could tell you the reason, it's another long story, but people are afraid of chiropractors because their medical doctors told them to be. Because, and the AMA got sued for this, in the early 60s, the American Medical Association at their national meeting wrote into their minutes that they were going to try to get rid of chiropractic because it was making people well without them.
Wow.
And when somebody finally blew the whistle on them, they were sued. and under the RICO Act, and they had to let up on that. And eventually, like I said, younger medical doctors now understand that chiropractic is adjunct to their patients' wellness, and will recommend it. I've had recommendations from medical doctors. Younger ones, older ones will still tell you it's not good for you because they don't know.
Wow, isn't that something?
Yeah.
Now, balance is...
Balance is a huge issue for people of us who, like us, and people around us who are less young than we used to be. It's a huge issue. It's tremendously important.
So what do they have to do to get
To improve their balance?
Yes, yes.
Well, I'm a certified instructor in a method called stick yoga. And as a matter of fact, I will be demonstrating it at the Wellness in the Woods group a couple of times coming up, and probably on Leslie's show as well.
Yes, okay.
And what I use to do that, this is the short version, but I use a bamboo pole. I won't stand up, but,
yes.
And I usually have a 6-foot one. You put all your weight on the pole
While you're standing?
while you're standing.
Yes.
And then do balance exercises. You can lunge, you can stand on one foot, you can do all sorts of things that would, if you want me to stand, I'll show you. But
No,
it wouldn't
no,
really,
that's fine. I mean
yeah, but this is also good for upper body strength and stretching to help all of you. Now, one of the things that's the most important, if you have a decent sense of balance now and you can do an uneven board or something like that, the little muscles that you can't exercise any other way, you have to exercise often. We call them the quick twitch muscles, and they're the ones in your core. When people are working on their core, it's for balance. If you keep exercising those muscles by challenging your balance in a safe way, then they will always react faster. And if you're finding you have balance issues, you can improve your balance by doing balance exercises in a safe way.
Wow. I thought that you're going to do it like in the back of your back.
This way you can, yeah. This you can do. This is not for you can do this for balance as well. If you're standing sturdy on the ground, you can do this. But what you're also getting is a stretch in your upper body. If I push forward on this, I'm getting a muscle resistance on the front muscles, and if I pull back, I'm getting stretch. If I push forward on one side, usually with a longer stick, this side's getting resistance, but the other side is getting stretched. So there are all sorts of things you can do with a stick. You could do it with a broom at home. And by improving the muscle strength and flexibility, that's helping your balance as well. The main thing is to stay strong and to stay flexible. That will keep everything working. And if you're in a position where you can't do standing exercises, even seated, you can do some things that will help your quick twitch muscles.
With this?
With a stick, and help your brain. Well, any exercise you do at all, everybody knows, or at least I think everybody knows, that the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. But if I'm doing an exercise, where I'm turning this, and I take it from the right to the left, now what was being controlled by the left is now being controlled by the right. And you take it across, and what was being controlled by the right is now being controlled by the left. So both sides of your brain are cooperating with each other more and communicating with each other more. All of that leads to better brain function, which can help your muscles. It helps all of your body's communication.
Wow, look at all this stuff. Okay, let's talk about voice therapy.
Voice therapy. There's a group called Songshine that was developed out in the Coachella Valley, and their main purpose was to it was developed by a neurologist and a voice teacher to help Parkinson's patients not lose their voice by doing very specific voice exercises, but in a fun way. So doing tongue exercises, la 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 la, and maybe so you get your vocal cords involved. And then because that's okay and that's good for you, they developed a singing program. I've been a singer all my life. There
We're
is.
gonna talk about it.
Yeah, apparently, my brother has a recording of me singing "When the Saints Go Marching In" when I was 3 years old. So I've been singing all my life.
Yeah.
And they just recently started to certify instructors in this method. So I became a certified instructor using my doctor background as well as my music background to help get this going as well. So this will be available soon in this area.
So people that have a stroke.
Yes, I mean, it was developed specifically for Parkinson's because the neurologist who started the program, that's his field of expertise. But the program out in Coachella Valley, I call him their poster child because he's such an amazing success. He was a motorcycle CHP cop.
Yeah.
And young and virile and maybe in his early 40s and very healthy guy who suddenly had 3 strokes within a week.
Wow.
So he couldn't move and he couldn't talk. And because he couldn't communicate, he did not want to be around other people. This is very, very common with people who develop voice problems because their speech is slow or they can't articulate or they can't even get the sound out. They just don't want to be around people. And they become housebound and they become more depressed and it's just this spiral down. So this fellow's wife insisted that he come to this music program. She knew it was for Parkinson's, but she thought it could help him too. And he is now with his physical therapy, he's up with a walker and almost ready for just a cane. He's very close to that. And he's singing and he's talking. His talking is slightly impaired still, but he's talking and he's talking full voice.
How long does it take before they see the results?
It depends on the individual and it depends on the extensiveness of the damage, how much brain damage there was as a result of the stroke. So it's individual for everybody. But they have people there who start to see results almost immediately. I have a friend who has Parkinson's. He's the one who told me about this program. He was just starting to lose his voice, and he was a lifetime singer. So
really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
he started on this program now. He's been certified to teach it as well. But because he started to therapy his voice before he lost it, he's doing amazingly well. Other people who have come with almost no voice, it could take a few months. But they can feel it by degrees that they're getting better. They can feel the difference.
So he was a singer, you said?
Yeah, Broadway.
So is it like a different technique that you teach
Well,
from singing? I mean,
Well, the whole program is taught the same to everybody.
Yeah.
Even if you've never sung before, even if when you had your voice or before your symptoms developed of whatever neurological problem you have, doesn't matter. Singing is therapy. Singing stimulates a lot of different places in the brain. If you do a brain study on someone who's singing, most of your brain lights up because there are so many things involved. You've got language involved. You've got both sides of the brain involved on cognitive as well as artistic. So it's massively important for your whole
Wow.
brain. And then you're also exercising the vocal cords and helping them let go. Part of what happens in Parkinson's, is the muscles start to freeze up. So all kinds of exercise is important, but that includes the vocal cords. Vocal cords are just muscle. So this gives your tongue and your vocal cords exercise, and you're having fun. So you're going to do it because you're having fun,
Yes,
instead
yes,
of just sitting at home and going, Who wants to do that?
wow, you know so much. I mean, you're so smart. So you came to live here when?
About 16 months ago.
Really?
So a year and a quarter, a year and a third, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of clubs do you belong to?
The club. Well, the first thing I did was join Kiwanis because I had been a member of Kiwanis for over 10 years in the San Fernando Valley where I lived before I moved here.
Yes.
Because I figured it would help me meet people, and it did. There's really lovely people in Kiwanis Club.
Yeah.
From that, I met Sunshine Luty and joined her performance group.
Yes.
So we do what we would call a mitzvah every Friday, and a group of us goes and sings for the South County Adult Day Center.
Really?
Every Friday.
Wow.
So we volunteer and we go do music for them for an hour. So and from that I met other people who were involved in music and theater. I also joined the
old pros.
the old pros and the other why can't I think of the name of the other theater group all of a sudden?
The Theater Guild.
The Theater Guild, that's it. It was too easy. Theater Guild. I was in the Magic Jukebox a few months ago from the Theater Guild.
Yes.
Presently, I'm in rehearsals with the Old Pros to be in Blithe Spirits. Everybody better come see it. Come see the Blithe Spirits.
Really? Really?
Yeah, it's going to be very good. And I belong to a Law of Attraction group. And
Who's directing the Blithe Spirit?
Blithe Spirits is being directed by Cheryl Baker. Oh. She's a terrific director. She's doing a fabulous job, and so is everybody in it.
Wow.
And
How many people are in it?
It's a small cast. That one is only 7 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a terrific play. It was written by Noel Coward almost 100 years ago. It's very funny, and it's a lot of fun.
Are you singing in it? I mean,
No,
is there music?
It's just a play.
Oh,
well,
just a
actually, I
play.
sing like 2 lines, but that's nothing.
Really?
It's for laughs. I sing it for laughs.
Oh.
So if you come and see that, that's not my real voice.
You have such a beautiful
thank you.
voice. Oh my God.
Yeah, because of all the things I was in, now I sometimes sing with Dutch Visser and his rock band, which is amazingly fun.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that again at the end of March.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in the Village String Band, so we'll have a string band concert coming up on May 5th.
Wow.
And that's an emeritus class, as well as a club.
Oh, wow.
And I'm singing with a couple of other people now. We've just started a folk trio called the Village Folk.
Wow, you are so busy.
I'm busier now than when I was working full time. And I couldn't enjoy living here more. I'm so blessed to be here. I'm so happy.
I know that I'm putting you on the spot, but can you sing something? Okay.
Well, let me think. I haven't warmed up really, other than going
Just, I don't know, something that comes to your mind.
Okay. Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sweet dreams, my someone. Sweet dreams, my love. How's that?
Oh my God! Oh my God! You're such a wonderful voice.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Well, for 30 years before I came here and before my synagogue closed, I was a cantor.
Oh, you were a cantor. Yeah, tell me about it. I mean,
Well, it was funny. I grew up in a very non-observant family. And my mother would joke all the time, we don't know how it happened to her. She became a Jew. We don't know how this happened. But when I saw that I could be involved
with singing.
in a spiritual way, I studied with a cantor who is like the cantor on the West Coast 30 years ago and taught everybody who's anybody. And then the opportunity came at my synagogue for where my parents belonged. The cantor was leaving, and I auditioned, and they hired me, and I was there for 30 years. Unfortunately,
My God!
it closed, but yeah, I was there for 30
years.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
that's a long time.
Wow. And you have to have a nice voice for being a cantor, and
Well,
here you have it.
So they say. So
Yeah. So when did you start? I know. Did you start when you were little to sing? Is
Yeah.
that when you realized that you like to sing?
Always, yeah. Always sang. Always had Broadway shows on my record player and dancing, jumping around my room and singing the Broadway show songs. And yeah, always.
And you did some acting? No?
I did a little acting. My big claim to fame, my 2 big claim to fames are both in the LA Law from 30 years ago. For the first season, there was a scene where it was Halloween, and I was standing in the hallway with fully decked out as a witch. I don't remember if my skin was green or not, because it was, and then it wasn't, and then it was. And I said, "Trick or treat, counselor," as Harry Hamlin walked by. Also on that show, I also did looping, which is the background voices for things. And there was an episode where one of the characters was officiating in small claims court, and a guy who bought a parrot at a pet store was suing the pet store. Sorry, there's my stick.
It's just the stick, okay.
Sorry. Anyway, the guy was suing the pet store because this parrot kept calling him bad names.
Yeah.
I was the voice of the parrot. Those are my big acting claims to fame. But I did a lot of community theater over the years, and my college bachelor's degree was in theater, so.
Really?
Yeah.
So you studied
So
acting?
I studied acting. I studied mostly voice acting, which actually led to me being in radio. And overlapping being a cantor and a chiropractor, I was a radio announcer for 30 years. Not all the exact same 30 years, but lots of overlapping.
You did a lot of things.
So when people would say, so tell me, what do you do? I'd say, what day, what time? 5 a.m. on Friday, I'm on the radio. Middle of the day, I'm adjusting people. At night, I'm at temple singing. And now I'm just having fun.
Now it's the best place to be here. You can do everything here.
It really is.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is wonderful.
The best place. Okay, well, it was so nice having you.
Well,
the time went by so fast.
I'm so glad I made you laugh. My day is complete now.
You could be a comedian too. You can be a comedian too.
I thought about it. Believe me. Doing jokes in front of drunks at parties, I kill.
Well, it's very nice having you here.
Thank you, Esther. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for watching, and next time we'll have another interesting person. Bye.